Yes, indeed. Chinedu Onyezu joins us next. He is the Labour Party Senatorial candidate for Abia South in the February 25th elections. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Good morning. Thank you.
Well, you have been up in arms about what transpired on that day, and you're not happy with the results. In fact, you speak strongly against the results declared by the Commission. Could you tell us why?
Yeah. So, Chamberlain, democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But on Saturday, the 25th of February, INEC redefined democracy as a government of INEC, for INEC, and by INEC. I experience, and I say it everywhere I go to, the worst form of travesty of justice on that day. We are looking at a scenario where I won my election as a candidate of the Labour Party in Abia South. And, you know, on the Tuesday, early morning Tuesday, when the election results were just being collated, you know, the returning officer, the INEC returning officer for Abia South Senatorial Zone, declared the elections inconclusive because over 108 polling units in my strongholds, you know, didn't experience any form of elections. And, you know, she declared every coalition officer accepted that position of INEC, only for her to return after 5 hours with over 5 trucks loaded with military personnel and mobile police to announce a winner within 5 hours. And we have video recording of these things playing out. In that scenario, she said on video that she got instructed from Abuja to return back to the coalition, zonal coalition office and declare Senator Abaribe as the winner of an inconclusive election. So we are curious as Nigerians, at the minimum, to understand what's changed between the time she had declared the elections inconclusive and then 5 hours after she returns to tell every Nigerian that she has been instructed to declare Senator Abaribe as the winner of the election. What she has done is to disenfranchise the votes of over 40,000 registered voters with PVCs, you know, that are supposed to vote in about 108 polling units within my strongholds. Interestingly, too, you know, such scenarios played out in other parts of the country, and the elections were declared inconclusive, after which INEC, you know, came up with a press release suggesting that supplementary elections were going to be held in those areas, you know, so that we can have a way of, you know, arriving at a winner for the elections. So, I'm rejecting, as a candidate, I'm rejecting those declarations, and I'm calling on INEC, I'm calling on Professor Yakubu Mahmoud, the national chairman of INEC, to do the right thing. There is no order that could come from Abuja that is above constitutional provisions, which is clear in the Electoral Act. If the difference between the declared winner and the first runner-up is less than the total number of registered voters with PVCs, you know, you don't just wake up and declare one of the candidates as the winner.
That's part of the challenge. They say that you were relying on total number of accredited registered voters rather than total number of uploaded accredited voters. And they say that that's where you get the calculation wrong. Is that right?
No. So there are a lot of issues. Firstly, the result sheet that we got a copy of, the final result sheet that we got a copy of, if you tabulate the numbers that were captured for Senator Abaribe, it even sums up to it sums up to 38,000 votes, while mine is 43,000 votes. But then how they arrived at 49,000 for Abia is still a mystery. That's one part of it. And then the other aspect to it is that we have published total number of registered voters in the 108 polling units. I mean, these are INEC records, you know. So, so we are going to, we are heading to the tribunal.
But registered voters, okay. You said, because I also know that at some point INEC published a number of people who had picked up their PVCs, not just registered voters.
Correct.
So in terms of the 2023 elections now, we know that we have over 93 million registered voters, but only 86 million or thereabout picked up their PVCs for these elections. A difference of close to, is that 7 million people have not yet picked up their PVCs. So do you have the figure for your own senatorial district in terms of how many people have picked up their PVCs? Okay,
we don't have exact figure of how many that have picked up their PVCs, but looking at the number of people that have registered in the areas that were disenfranchised, we are looking at over 40,000 registered voters. 20% of that is 8,000. The difference between the candidate that was announced winner and myself is less than that number. So what we are saying is, if he thinks he's a more popular candidate, why the hurry to go out there, you know, to have INEC, you know, declare him winner when we have a lot of Nigerians that are still disenfranchised? And then there are a lot of irregularities. I saw some of the clips of your previous programs where, you know, result sheets were manipulated or, you know, rewritten, especially at the collation level. You know, so what we are doing now is we are pulling together our polling unit level results.
Have you been to the IREV portal?
Yes, we've been there, and then we also have seen a lot of difference. You know, these are things that our lawyers are going to present at the tribunal.
Let's go to Lagos.
All right, thanks, Chamberlain. Just from your account, the account you narrated earlier on, you said that is it the REC or the person in charge of the election said there was an order from Abuja. Did that person say who the order was from Abuja? Because Abuja can mean really anything. But according to your account, did you get who gave that order from Abuja specifically, or it was just from Abuja?
So, I mean, that is what we expect to get out of the court. What we saw and what we have on record, on video recording, is that you know, we saw her say that, we saw and heard her say that, you know, she got order from Abuja to go ahead and declare Senator Abaribe the winner of the senatorial elections.
Well, you said you've been to the IREV, and I imagine, like a lot of other Nigerians who've been going to the IREV, they've tried to pull down polling units results just to tabulate and see how it reflects with what INEC announced. And I wonder for you, what did you come to in total from the result from IREV for you and then the candidate who was declared winner in that election?
I will allow for my lawyers to present that. It's not what I'm happy to speak to here. But then I can tell you that from 1,708 polling units in my state, in my senatorial zone, we see about 1,400 results sheets that have been uploaded. And we are expecting more if INEC continues to say that the uploads are ongoing, you know. So, but if after 7 days they have not been able to complete the upload of results in 1,708 polling units, we will also want to know why. If it is also as a result of disenfranchising voters in the remaining polling units. So what we ask for is a rerun in those areas where voters have collected their PVCs and are willing to vote. I'm not comfortable that these areas are my strongholds, and INEC wasn't able to conduct elections in those places.
Well, so the difference between the from IREV, it says there are 1,707 polling units, so that's just one less of the 1,708 which you talked about. But as of now, 1,484 polling units have been uploaded, so that leaves 223 polling unit results still outstanding, waiting to be uploaded. And you said that, I think, did you say 108 polling unit results had not come in at some point when it was declared inconclusive? I just want to know what then your demand is. Are you asking that the results should still be, or rather the election itself should be declared inconclusive and there should be some sort of re-election or reconduction of the process? Are you asking to be declared winner, perhaps based on what you have tabulated? What exactly are your demands?
Okay, I'm demanding for the rights of Nigerians to, their fundamental rights to vote, to be, to be given to them, and the only way to do that is to conduct supplementary elections in these polling units where elections didn't hold.
How many are there in total? It's
unfair to arrive at a conclusion when you know that these areas are my strongholds. They are the Abia, there are polling units in Abia North, Abia South, and Obingwa area. So I'm asking for a rerun or a conduct of supplementary elections in these areas, so that every Nigerian, the world will be able to see why, or we will all have a clear explanation on whoever emerges as the winner. And I'm very confident because they are my strongholds. So why will you rush to declare Abaribe as the winner of the election when you still have 7 days to 14 days to correct those wrongs or make sure that supplementary elections are held before a winner is declared?
Did you have party agents in every single one of those polling units you're talking about?
Yes, we had party agents in those polling units, and then we started collating our manual, the printouts of the result sheets.
How significant are
they? And I tell you, they are showing different. They are also showing different.
Go ahead.
Total number of votes from what we have on IREV and also what was announced. Okay. But these details will come by the time we go to the tribunal.
I asked that question because there are many people who say, some observers say that there are parties who didn't have polling agents at many of these polling units. So that's why I'm asking if you can confirm affirmatively that your party agents were there and they brought in authentic results, not one that they made up themselves.
Yeah. So you agree with me that Southeast, when we talk about Labour Party strongholds, Southeast is is a region where Labour Party is strong. So we have a very strong presence in the Southeast. So all our polling units had our agents in them. The ones that didn't return with results are polling units where elections didn't hold because materials didn't even get there. So we had a scenario where voters waited for INEC to come with voting materials, and they didn't show up. And So for where we had elections, we have our own copies of the polling unit results.
Isn't it because part of the argument we hear from the other side is that Labour Party was beaten in 4 out of the 6 local government areas. And that even if it has to do with the units that there was no voting, that INEC could have looked at the margin and saw that, well, the margin of accredited voters is less than the margin of win, and then INEC declared the result.
Well, so let them make it public. Let them make the data that they are relying on to, come up with that conclusion public. But then, before now, the INEC returning officer, who was part of the collation process, in the early hours of Tuesday, when they finished the collation, was on a video recording. She was recorded on video because every other person, most of the collation officers brought out their camera phones to video her announce that there are a lot of irregularities, there are a lot of polling units where elections didn't hold, and that based on the data she's seeing, that she can't arrive at a conclusion. Okay. And so that elections were going to be held in these areas. In fact, that morning too, over 7 radio stations in Abia South had announced to Nigerians, to voters, that INEC was going to conduct supplementary elections. Only for after 5 hours, the same lady returned back to the collation center to say that, she was going to declare winner for, from the elections. Have you applied for a review? Yes, I've petitioned INEC, and then my lawyers are working on, heading to the tribunal so that we can do a review, do a look back on what has transpired.
Do you regret going into politics?
No, I don't at all. I actually retired from Chevron. It was an early retirement. I used to work at Chevron. I used to be a manager at Chevron. Again, because of the passion I have for us to bring change to the country and what happens in Nigeria, that was why I joined politics. And, I contested with what I consider the strongest opponents, the 2 incumbents in Abia South. I contested with the incumbent governor of Abia State. I contested with the incumbent senator, a 16-year senator representing Abia South. And I contested as the most prepared and qualified candidate. And that was why I got the kind of followership and votes that I got in Abia South. So there's no regret because the driver remains to bring change, transformational change to my people.
All right, Chinedu Onyuzo, the senatorial candidate for Abia South senatorial election. Thank you for coming on, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.